Today we're going to look at voice leading arpeggios like we did in lesson 1, except we're going to use some prettier extensions and some different colours that'll hopefully get some nice sounds in your improvising. I'm Mike Anderson. I teach guitar here at the Jazz Music Institute. Here at JMI we're trying to create a world where everyone can play jazz and improvise. On the previous lesson we were voice leading arpeggios on a 2-5-1 in C. Now we're going to continue doing that, except we are going to add some extensions to these chords. And we're going to do it in such a way that we're going to play each arpeggio without a root note now, so we get some prettier colours. And I'll explain what that means. So the chord progression was 1 bar of D minor 7, 1 bar of G7, and 2 bars of C major 7. It's a very, very common 2-5-1, which turns up in a lot of jazz tunes all the time. Probably the most important chord progression that you need to know. And what we're going to do, previously we played D minor 7 as per normal. But this time we're going to play D minor 9. Now the way that what we're going to do is we're going to leave off the Ds and replace them actually with E's, which is the 9th. And so we get this shape, which you can also think of as an F major 7, if you like, as well. And that will give us D minor 9, which is a nice colour. Now for the G7, this is where we're going to get really fancy, and we're actually going to play, which is what I think is quite an important and common sound over a dominant chord, particularly going to a major, a 2-5 going to a major. In this case, we've got G7 going to C. I want to spell out or imply G13 flat 9, which I think is a really, really great sound and really important. And the way that we're going to get those notes happening, so I'm still deriving from, here's our G7 arpeggio. Now what we're going to do, we are actually going to leave off the root now, and we are going to, whenever we play a G, is going to become an A flat, which is the flat 9, right? And also, instead of playing the 5th, which is the D, we are going to play the E natural, which is the 13 or the 6th degree, depending on how you want to think about it. So what we end up is this shape. And this is very much spelling out a G13 with a flat 9. That sound resolving to the C, which we'll get to in a second. So with the G13 flat 9, just to very quickly analyze these intervals, we've got 3, 6, or 13, flat 7, flat 9, 3, 6, flat 7, flat 9, 3. They're the intervals over the G7. G13 flat 9. And you'll also notice that really cool sound in there. There's an E triad in there as well, but with an F in there. There's a really, really beautiful sound. So that's what we're going to use on the G7, G13 flat 9. We're implying G13 flat 9 with the arpeggio. So just to recap, we've got F major 7, arpeggio, over the D minor 7, G13 flat 9 over the G7, and now one more arpeggio for the C. We're going to use an E minor 7 arpeggio, this one. Now this arpeggio, this gives you all beautiful notes over the C major 7 chord. We have the 3rd, the 5th, major 7, the 9th, and then so on, the 3rd, 5th, major 7th, 9th. And that sound over a C major 7 chord gives us more of a C major 9 sound, which is really, really beautiful and really common in jazz. So instead of just playing D minor, G7, C major, we're now playing, it's still a 2-5-1, but we're decorating it a little bit more, making it F major 7. I'm still thinking D minor 7, but I'm playing F major 7, G13 flat 9, still thinking G7, and then C major 9, which is still C major 7. We've just got an extra color on top. Okay, so there are those arpeggios. I'll just run through them one more time. So we've got D minor 9, G13 flat 9, and then E minor 7. Okay, now what we can do with those arpeggios, it's great. First of all, you need to get super familiar with them, just be able to comfortably play them up and down. Then I would like you to try and do the voice leading exercise that we did in the first video, which was so if you remember, we're playing 1 bar of D minor 7, 1 bar of G7, 2 bars of C, but we're using these specific arpeggios over that chord progression, being the F major 7, the G13 flat 9, and the E minor 7. So we're going to play these arpeggios in a voice leading way, only changing direction when we run out of the room, like we did it in the first video. So an example of that would be, so we're running eighth notes again. And we're starting on the lowest possible note. So we have F major 7, which we're using for the D minor 7. Now the next available note for the G13 flat 9 is this B here, and then we've got to come back down the arpeggio. So that's what we've got so far, D minor, G13 flat 9, and then E minor 7. Okay, so I'll run that one again. So notice I'm only changing direction when I run out of room in this position, run out of notes in this position. And that way we get that sort of shape of a line independent of the way the chord's moving, which I think is really, really valuable. So the next example, we'll start on the second lowest note of D minor 7 or F major 7. D minor 7, G13, E minor, and then I'll try one starting from up here, just because we've been going bottom to top. Let's go top to bottom. Do that one again. So these are fantastic. Not only are they fantastic for teaching you the intervallic relationships for all these beautiful sounds over extensions over these chords, it's also a fantastic technical workout as well, mental and technical workout. Because what we're doing really, we're kind of creating little etudes, if you like, spelling out these chord progressions, which I think is really, really great because they sound beautiful just playing them by themselves. You can hear the chord changes and they make logical sense as they voice lead everywhere. And I think it's also important, I should say, that great for your technique in the sense that you're building technique which is dependent on the music that we're playing rather than the other way around, which is playing music dependent on the technique that we're working on, which I know a lot of guitarists, including myself, are guilty of. Anyway, okay, I'm just going to play one more example. And remember, you can do this starting on any note of this arpeggio that we were playing, this F major 7 arpeggio. time. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and hopefully I'll see you guys around.